Hello, welcome to this film review for System Crasher. This is a German film, so if you can't speak the language, you will need subtitles. And it's about a young girl, aged 9, called Bernadette, but everyone calls her Bernie, played by Helena Zangel. I probably completely ruined that. And yes, really good film. Basically, she is a young girl. She suffered some kind of trauma in her past. They talk about it briefly. They don't go too much into it. But basically, this has left her with severe behavioural issues and anger issues. And the film is basically about the German system of childcare and trying to find her a decent home, somewhere to live. All she wants is to go back with her mother. That's all she wants. She wants to live with her mother and her brother and sister and just be a family. But that isn't happening because of her behaviour. And basically it's just showing the complete despair of how they're trying to find a home for her, because everywhere she goes, she just basically erupts in anger. She lashes out. She hurts people. She can be quite violent. And she just can't control her behaviour, and the systems aren't really in place to help her with controlling her behaviour. I mean, they try and they fail pretty much. But the actual character of Bernie is actually a really nice girl, and she is a kind, compassionate, caring person. And she does have a heart and she does have empathy, but unfortunately she just can't control her rage, and she just erupts and she just goes crazy, and even the people she cares about she will hurt. And it kind of reminded me of my first job in care, when I was completely inexperienced and untrained for that kind of thing. There was somebody there who was very, very similar, a bit older because I didn't work with children. And the whole way through I was thinking, this is exactly like the sort of thing that I had to do. But that's, I'm going off on a tangent here. Yeah, I really enjoyed the film. It's not always an easy watch, but there again, I don't think it's designed to always be an easy watch. It's designed to make you think and take a look and evaluate society and how we treat people in society with difficulties. And yeah, she's got a lot of trauma in her life and she doesn't know how to express it. The whole system seems to be trying to help her find a home. You don't see too much therapy. I mean, I would think that what she could really use is some therapy. You don't tend to see that. You just see them pumping her full of drugs whenever she goes off on one, and being kicked out of one home, going crazy, pumped full of drugs to sedate her, trying to find another home. There isn't really any therapy in it at all. There is a guy called, I'm just going to call him Michael. It's Misha. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Anyway, he's there. He's to help her with her anger issues, but he's not really a therapist. I mean, he tries some unorthodox treatment, like taking her to a cabin in the woods. I'm not sure really how that would go down with safeguarding issues, but hey, it's a film. And basically, it seems to work for a while. She calms down a bit, but then it all just erupts when they get back. And then I was just like thinking, oh my god, no, what are you doing? Because he then gets his personal life involved with her, because he introduces her to his home and his family, and that's just one thing you just never do. If you're working with people in this industry, that is just something you just never, ever, ever do. And I don't know if the filmmaker knows that this is something you should never do, because if he was a true person in this kind of role, as he was her school escort and he works with people with anger issues, anyone actually in that line of work would know that you just don't get your family involved. You just don't do it. And I feel that was probably a major oversight on the filmmakers, because you just wouldn't. Even the most unprofessional person just wouldn't do that. That's just a line you don't cross. So that bothered me a bit, and there was almost some severe repercussions for that later in the film, but luckily they didn't go where I thought they were going to go. They didn't go there. But yeah, so it made for an interesting storyline, but at the same time, for me, it made it really unrealistic, that bit. I was just thinking, you just wouldn't do that. In reality, you just wouldn't. So putting that to one side, because the film is trying to be realistic. That's the thing. It's not like a fantasy sci-fi film where, you know, you've got the rules of this universe and you just accept it. Like a Marvel film or something. It's completely absurd, but you accept it within the confines of the film. This film was trying to be realistic and based in our reality, and I'm sorry, but that was a deal breaker for me. Really, just the way he did that. I said I'd move on. I'm really struggling to move on from that point. It's just, oh, it's frustrating. The acting was good and superb and everything. The dialogue was believable, the way the people are talking. There's some quite emotional scenes, and you do feel for Bernie. You know, I did like her as a character. You know, could empathise with her, and I could empathise with the people trying to find her a home, basically. Um, I mean, there's all sorts of people in that deal with anger issues and challenging behaviours that probably come up with different suggestions and stuff. And normally you have meetings to throw these ideas out, and you saw several of these meetings. So that point is realistic, where they're trying to discuss what they can and can't do with her. The last scene of the film, the very, very last second, it looks like something happens. I'm not going to spoil it, but I kind of thought, how are they going to bring this film to a conclusion? Because it's a 2 hour film, and like an hour and a half in, I was thinking, I can't see how they're going to bring this film to a conclusion. And then when it had like 15 minutes left, I was like, still thinking, how are they going to bring this to a conclusion? And then at the very last second, it's like, is that how they brought it to a conclusion? Did what I think happened actually happen? Yeah, so System Crasher, it's I recommend it. It's a good watch. Probably not for everyone. If you've possibly got experience with people with challenging behaviours in your family, this might be a bit close to home. But other than that, I think yeah, could be an entertaining watch for you. Although, as I said earlier, it is a bit difficult in some places, but generally a well-made film. All right, I will see you again soon. Bye.